Hello everybody and welcome to Freaking FX, where I'm going to show you today how to create this GTA Trippy look that we can see during Michael's mission in his acid trip. And for making this video, I'm going to be using this gameplay as a reference to do all the effects and explain you the stuff that we're going to be making. And also, because it's night in this mission, probably you want to use a night footage. So I'm going to be using this footage that I found from this TAPP channel, which has some pretty cool drone footage. Okay, let's jump into After Effects. So the first thing that we're gonna do is creating a new composition. We can call this, for example, Trippy look. And well, also we have to keep in mind the frames that you want in your composition, because mine personally, I'm gonna be 24 frames per second. This is something really cool because you can set in the very beginning the duration, so you can put, for example, 10 minutes, which is a lot, but this way you can reuse this file as template for future projects. So we're going to create a very long composition just in case, and also we're going to import our footage right here, and we can look for a place where it looks nice, probably something over there that there's no text or anything at all. And I always like the very first thing that I do while creating a template or whatever is pre-composing the very main layer, and we can call this footage, and we want to click on move all attributes into new composition, because this way if we in the future want to reuse this, we just have to go to this pre-composition here and add effects or logos on top or whatever. And we're gonna go to the original video here, and we can see that in this video the color slightly changes, especially in the shadows. It's like kind of green, now it's going to magenta maybe. It has some kind of hue displacement. We're gonna work on that. And also you can see that only affects in the shadows, because the bright parts are like always yellow. So we're gonna be creating this hue effect that will only affect the shadows of the video. So for making this, we're gonna go into our composition and we're going to duplicate the footage layer 2 times by pressing Ctrl D. And then we want to get the CC threshold, this one, effect, and we want to apply it to the layer on top. And we want to click invert right over here, and we want to look for a middle point where we can see mostly everything that is going on in the picture. Don't look at this value because this is the one that works for me, but for your case it might be different. And now we want to go to the second layer after we have found a point that we can see the detail and everything. And we want to come over here and look for the hue saturation effect. Oops, hue saturation, that's it. And we want to drop it on the second layer. Now we want to use this that we created here as matte. So we're going to click in the second layer and we're going to go over here and click on and Luma matte footage right over there. And now if we apply any kind of, oops, not here, over here, if we apply this kind of hue effect, we can see that it will only apply to the shadows, not on the bright parts. Now we want to animate this the whole thing, but we have a very long composition, so we don't want like animate over here then go to the end, and you know, it's like a huge deal, and we can do this way easier. So you want to go into the effects tab here in the composition, and we can look for hue saturation, and you want to click this when it says colorize. You want to click it on, and then we can alt click here in color hue, and we can write an expression so that it constantly keeps on changing with time. So we can write time, this thing, I don't know how it's called in English, and 40. We click outside, and if we go along the video, we can see that it will automatically change without us doing anything. You can see almost no difference because there's not a huge difference of saturation, but we're going to work on that right now. Now, if we go into the video, we can see that there's a lot of saturation, there's a lot of glow, there's some kind of blur in the edges, more or less. So we want to add a new adjustment layer. You should add a new adjustment layer. And we want to go to this same effect, hue saturation, and we want to drop it on this adjustment layer. And we want to take all the saturation all the way up to 100%. And also we want to look for a glow effect over there. So it's okay like that. Maybe we can take the radio just a little bit up, not too much. And then we want to duplicate it again and just take the radio even farther. So something like that, more or less, would be nice. And we want to create a new adjustment layer now, over here. And we're going to create the blur effect. So for doing that, we're going to go into this and we're going to hold here, clicking, and we're going to look for ellipse tool. We want to release there. Now we want to double click on that one, and it will automatically create this shape, the circular shape. So to know what we're gonna be doing, we're gonna look for Gaussian blur, drop it on the adjustment layer, want to repeat edge pixels, and want to take the blurriness all the way up. But we want only the edges, not the center. So we're gonna set this one to subtract, and also we wanna press F to go to the feather, and we can just put it all the way up somewhere, maybe over there. I think it looks nice, maybe even more. And now this is already starting to look way similar to this video, but still there are some adjustments that need to be made, and it's basically regarding the RGB split, because it's an effect that we have done a lot of times in this channel, but you can see that this one works a little bit different. It has some kind of displacement on it, some kind of distortion. So we're gonna work in that right now. We want to take all the layers, right click, pre-compose. We can call this, for example, pre-RGB. And now we want to look for the shift channels effect. We want to drop it on this layer, and we want to, with Control D, duplicate it 2 times. Now we had 3 different layers. We want to set the 2 on top to add mode, and now we want to have different colors. So to know what we're going to be working with, you want to click here on the first layer. I want to put maybe this one red, the second one green, and the third one blue, right over here. So want to go to the first layer, the red one. So want to leave the red just like that, but green we're gonna go full off, and blue full off. Red full off, blue full off, and exactly the same thing with the last one. Red full off, green full off. So we have only blue in the blue layer, only green in the green layer, and only red in the red layer. And usually what we do for doing this effect is just taking the layer, taking the scale, just scaling it a little bit up, but we're gonna do it different this way, this time, sorry. We're gonna look for CC lens. We're gonna drop it on the second layer. I want to take the size up to somewhere over there. Probably you wanna take it almost to the very extreme, to 500. And I wanna do the same with the red layer, but if you realize the reds are very displaced, they're like in another scale, so we don't want to go that far with this one. Probably somewhere over here, maybe more or less. You have to be happy with your composition. It doesn't to be exactly the same values. This will do very good, this kind of distortion that we have, especially when if the camera is moving, you're going to realize whenever there's some kind of movements that all the edges go like over here. You can see the red is like extremely displaced. We're gonna be having this same effect on this on this video. And that was basically it. I hope that you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't yet, and let me know in the comments below what you thought about this tutorial, and if you would like me to do a tutorial of any other game or whatever, just let me know and I will try to look at it as soon as possible. So thank you very much, and I really hope to see my next tutorial. So see ya!